You landed the interview, you are excited, and the reality is you open a tab and then you start researching IT audit interview questions, and you're thinking, I'm just new into the field. I'm a career switcher. I am a recent graduate. How on earth am I supposed to answer these questions? I'm here to tell you that that feeling is the starting point and it is not a disqualifier. That does not disqualify you. Today, I am going to walk you through exactly how to prepare for an IT audit interview when you have no IT audit experience, step by step, practically, based on what hiring managers are actually looking for. Welcome to Liars Academy. My name is Layo. I am an IT audit risk professional and also a career coach. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you're an existing follower or subscriber, please ensure you put a comment or a thumbs up for me and also share my videos. And let's celebrate. We are at 1,000 followers, so that's a great milestone that is worth celebrating. Before we get into things, I would want you to understand something that would change how you walk into that room, into your interview room. At entry levels, hiring managers are not expecting you to know how to run an entire IT audit cycle. Okay, read that again. Nobody's expecting you to complete an end-to-end audit cycle. They are not expecting you to like actually have done that. Okay, what they would be evaluating is whether you can think analytically, whether you can communicate clearly, and also if you're a fast learner. Critical thinking is very, very important in IT audit. Okay, what they are testing is, can you assess risk? Can you ask the right question? Can you think objectively? Are you trainable? Okay, they're going to be looking out for those things. How you show up matters as much as what you know also. Okay, make sure you have a mindset shift. Okay, make sure you show up prepared in a professional manner and also with genuine curiosity. These are the things that would help you regardless of your experience level, regardless of what experience level you have. Okay. Now, one thing that is very important, know your ITGCs. ITGCs are IT general controls. If you don't know what that is, please watch my previous videos or subscribe to my channel and get more videos I have done in the past on IT general controls. Okay. Know your IT general controls at the back of your know it. It would come up in virtually every IT audit interview at every level. Okay, this is one topic you cannot afford to win. You cannot. There are four areas you need to know very well. The four areas: know your access management, know your change management, know your IT operations, and your backup recovery. Okay, think. And then when you're talking about access management, you're not just talking about just the basics. You're talking about user provisioning, privilege access, quarterly access review. Like, those are the most common places that you'll be tested. For change management also, the basic things about that. I have a detailed video on all this. That is why I would not be going into it. They would ask you about your IT general controls. Okay, make sure you explain everything, but make sure you have one that you can go into in more details. Like, know it at the back of your hand. Most candidates would freeze when they ask them to describe an end-to-end process of how you tested maybe change management or access management. Okay, make sure you know one of them in details and you can talk about it very well. Okay, and then the next thing that you need to do is this: frame what you have in audit language. Yes, there are a lot of us that are career switchers or career transitioners. Okay, whatever knowledge you have from your previous background or career, shape it into IT audit language. Okay, don't undersell yourself. You already have an experience that you are bringing into that translates into IT audit. It's just that you're not saying it the right way. For example, let me give you a real example. If you're from a finance or accounting background, I was from an accounting background. You have actually been assessing controls over financial transactions. That is audit language. If you have been in IT support or maybe IT tech, IT desk, help desk, or thereabouts, you have actually been identifying recurring access issues and escalating risk. If you have worked in compliance, you have been evaluating adherence to policies and principles, like you've been flagging gaps. If you have managed projects before, you have been managing timelines, you are still identifying risks, and you are communicating your status to your stakeholders. Okay, so make sure you frame your previous experience to match IT audit language. For example, stop saying I reviewed invoices. Start saying I assessed controls over financial transaction processing. Stop saying as an help desk person. Don't say, oh, I handled IT ticket. No. You can start saying I identified recurring system access issues and escalated it for resolution. The work is the same, believe me. The language is different, but the work is the same. Also, in an interview, the language is everything. It signals that you already think like an IT auditor even before you have held that title. Okay, make sure you change your language and frame it into IT audits language. Okay, the next thing, prepare three-star stories before you walk in. Trust me, your stories must be great. Prepare them before you go in. Okay? STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. And that is the structure behind every strong interview answer. And most IT audit interviews are heavily behavioral at the entry level or mid level. Okay? Build your stories. Have a story around each topic you want to talk about. Okay, so now build stories. To build your story, one, you must have a time you found a problem or inconsistency that other people miss. It shows like you have an audit mindset. So have a story around that. Oh, I found a problem or there was inconsistency. Okay. It shows that you have an audit mindset. It shows you have attention to details. It shows that you have analytical thinking. You do not need like a real audit example per se. Okay. You can talk about a discrepancy you caught, a compliance gap you flagged, or a process that or a process error that you identified at work. Build three stories. One, a time you found a problem, others means a time you had to explain something complex, okay, in a simple way. Most times they would ask questions like, tell me how you would explain your audit findings to non technical people or like non-audit people, something like that. And then the third one, a time you worked under pressure or a tight timeline. Okay, write your start stories out in full before the interview. Don't go to the interview and start thinking of a story to tell. Okay, the 5 questions that you may eventually be asked, know these questions, like know it. Question one, tell me about yourself. Start with your background, pivot to what you now do like IT audit, and then close with what you are bringing to the role. Keep it under 90 seconds, no long talk. Okay, don't read your resume back. 60 to 90 seconds. Make sure you start with your background. I used to do this, I am now this. Okay, maybe in another video I will do a live sample of what an interview tell me about yourself pitch looks like, or what good looks like. Question two, why do you want to be an IT auditor? They might not ask you like directly, oh, why do you want to be an IT auditor? But the question will be framed around that. Okay, why do you want to work with us? Why, this you, something like that. Be specific when you are doing this. Okay, be specific and be honest. Say something that is very real. Okay, the intersection of technology and risk. Oh, I've been in compliance, and now, like, I'm very interested in it. Something that would draw attention. The fact that every organization needs this function, and it also gives you a broad exposure across a business. Don't just say things like, oh, I like problem solving. Oh, I am curious. Some people would go that. Okay, be specific, be honest, and make sure that you say something that bridges the gap between intersection and technology. Okay, What and then what do you know about your IT general controls? I already mentioned that earlier. Make sure you know your IT general controls. Make sure you can, talk about the four areas. Okay. Then I've talked about you. Don't tell me about yourself. Where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years? Might be another question that they can ask. Okay. Again, after at the end of your interview, make sure you ask questions. Always ask them questions, at least 2 or 3 questions. Okay. The questions you ask at the end of an interview would reveal as much about you as every answer you gave before. Okay. Do not leave an interview saying you have no questions. That is a big red flag. Okay. Here are 3 questions that would work for you every time. Ask them, what does the audit cycle look like here, and what does a first year auditor typically own in their first engagement? Like, what are the expectations? This will show that you're thinking practically about the role, not just trying to get an offer. Then talk about what framework does the team use most, and how does the organization prioritize their IT audit findings or deficiencies. Okay. And then lastly, what does success looks like in the first 90 days of someone in this role? It signals that you're professional, you're ambitious, and that you're already thinking about contributing to the organization. Working with these checklists done before you go into any interview as a career transitioner into IT audit or new into the IT audit space. Make sure you can define all your 4 IT general controls, and make sure that you can give one example each, and at least be able to walk through one end to end. Okay. Make sure you can explain what a control is in plain language, risk assessment, and all that. Make sure you have your 3-star stories written out and practical. Make sure you have reframed your experience in audit language. Okay. Make sure you know the difference between IT general controls and application controls, even if you don't know application controls in full. But make sure you know the difference between IT general controls and application controls. Make sure you have researched the company and the role specifically. And one other thing, you can research the person that will be interviewing you before the interview. Check their LinkedIn profile, know who they are. Okay. Then make sure you have 3 strong questions ready to ask the interviewer at the end of the interview. You are more than ready than you think. Okay. If you still need more clarity, you need additional explanations, my IT audit roadmap and my IT audit fundamentals module would help you get the right knowledge and fundamentals that you need to start acing your interview. Also, I'll be having a training coming up in a few weeks. If you're interested, please ensure you click the link in my bio to join the training. Okay. Also, I have an IT audit interview cheat sheet in my digital store. This is going to help you. I have simulated star format questions and answers using a real life job offer to create these questions and answers that will help you and guide you appropriately in your interviews. Okay. My name is Layo. Learn with purpose, grow with confidence, and lead with grace.